Hi all, welcome back to more Redvers Reverse. This is my part 9. Still the same night as I recorded part 8. I'm on the movement phase. This is turn 5. Right, yeah, I got an answer from the designer himself, which is great. I always like when the actual designer answers because, well, you know it's right, eh? Well, I don't know. I've caught some of them out before. So on occasion, you can sometimes catch the designers out, but not this time. In fact, he's caught me out. Well, I say he's caught me out. He's like pointing me to something that I should have looked at. You know. Um, yeah, Jeff Noble, the designer. Sorry, Jeffrey Noble. And I should have looked. I should have been looking at this. And of course, my question was regarding the Bohr plot chart. Was it the plot chart? Yeah, the plot chart. This one. And it's just with the way it was worded and whatever. Start with closest area. And I thought, right, is that a priority? You know. And then this one says equal number in each area. So you're plotting in each of these areas. And then extra and closest area. See, this bit still throws me a little. Maybe I've not got quite. I've had a couple of beers now, so I'm trying to think about it smartly that I know what I'm talking about. Extra and closest area. So if you had plot markers, surely if the priority was start with closest area, why would you be putting extra in the closest area if you know it was always going to be the priority was always going to be the closest area? I think that's maybe what the bit that threw me at the end there. Ah, damn, I wish I'd maybe thrown that back to him just to, like I say, I'm not sure, maybe I'm muddling things up there a bit. Yeah, you can never be too sure when you've had a couple of beers, Grant. So maybe you should just. Anyway, what he pointed me to was this, and I know I'd looked at this a bit, a little bit. It looks quite daunting. This, I mean, don't get me wrong. These are great things to have examples where you've got, and in some ways, I wanted to say maybe this rule book is missing some examples of play. This is obviously really quite good and useful. And what I need to do is sit and go through this and study it carefully. You know, you can't just start reading that without sort of sitting down, studying it, and certainly not tonight because I've had a couple of beers, so that's not the time to do it. But yeah, this rulebook could do with some examples of play, I think, for sure. That would be a good thing. But anyway, he replied, and he's still got his next game in the series. He's still working on that. He's got more up to date rules and whatever. But yeah, he pointed me out to, now what bit was it? To be honest, yeah, you've done your usual, Grant. Not got the reply in front of you. You know what? Rather than go through all this, let me just say what it is that is said. It basically comes up with 3 areas that are 2 away and 3 areas that are 3 away. And what happens is you discount the 3 areas that are 3 away, and you look at the 3 areas that are 2 away, and they get pot markers in two pot markers in each one. So it basically says that yes, you start with the closest area. It's just, how could you have extra markers put in the closest area? That's still the bit there that's a stumble to me. If your priority is the closest area, and you put equal in each one of them, then how can you put extra into the closest area? I don't know. Right, okay. I'm just going to leave it there. He did say that he's hoping to get around to watching my videos in he's not got around to watching them in detail yet. I did warn him about that. That yeah, you need to be of sound mind, or maybe not, to do that. It can be hard going. So if he does, maybe he can give me a heads up, give me an answer to that bit. But to be honest, now that I know it is and that's what I've done the first time anyway. I picked the closest area and we dealt with that, and that was that. There was no any issue. It's just when I started reading it again, I was like, and then of course I didn't notice a bit at first about the stacking points, having presidents, and well, that's clearly written there, so that's fine. But yeah, anyway, thanks for getting back to me on that, Jeff. Or Jeffrey, well, his name's signed Jeffrey, but he's got Jeff on the box, so I think we're okay with that. Okay, so movement. Let's press on because yeah, I'm not quite sure I've got the time to finish this. It's starting to get a little late, so let me just remind myself. Move a leader, right? So yeah, there's going to be quite a bit involved in this, I think, because we've got the guys on the bridge and we'll go other drift markers around. Right, okay. So let's look at from left to right, and let me just try and see if I can do it without fussing too much about the rules. Well, I'm going to have to look at some stuff. We got these. Oh, you took a step loss. Right, I didn't know that. I thought these guys had got away with it. Oh, he's obviously took a step loss, man. They must have got a good morale roll. Yeah, I know both of these got a good morale roll. I remember that, but I didn't realise he had taken a step loss. But he was up against a strong unit, wasn't it? I want to say he got a +2 as his SP chit as well, didn't he? I think so. So, but they've not been hit by morale, so there's a good chance that they're going to fight back. So we know we're going to try and get into this drift. We don't know what the drift is. So I'm going to say, now our objective marker is in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into this drift with the first border infantry. Yeah, no, I mean, we've not really done this before. We've done the bridge, but then there was no drift marker there. And the other one that was up there, we couldn't move into it because we were disrupted and whatever, which I didn't realise at first, that you couldn't do it when you were disrupted or suppressed. Drift and bridge areas. When a drift area showing drift is about to be entered by a battalion or regiment, the player must first find the drift. Each drift has a drift marker, adjust it to show its value and roll 2 dice. The drift will be found if that value or less is rolled. If the drift is found, remove the marker and the drift can now be entered. So my guess is I've got my movement point to move into it. And right, sorry, there's I kind of missed that paragraph. If it is not found, you leave the drift marker showing its value. Battalion regiment may not enter the drift area, stays where it is, and if in play, the planned objective and objective markers of its brigade are removed, and then British may roll again to find the drift in subsequent turns. Right, so we're going to do that here, because the fifth Irish objective marker is in here. So he's going to look in here for the drift. We're hoping this is a big number. Ooh, yuck. Right, okay. That's not the best because I know there's 10s and I want to say there's a 12 as well, which would be a guarantee, wouldn't it? So is it number or less? Value or less is rolled. Yeah, okay. And it's 2d6. Well, it must be 2d6, yeah. Because that would be a easy roll, wouldn't it? Okay. So we want a little roll here. Anything less than a 6, or anything a 6 or less. Here we go. Oh, how about that? You know what? die rolls that I've had recently, they've all been 9s and 7s and 8s. And that's the first low roll we've had just when we needed it. Well, that was fortunate. Right, okay. So that goes away. And we're good. I'll just pile that up on that. These are the ones. Right, so my guess is that because he said he was the one that was moving in there, he has gone in. Now we can only have one, well, you can only have one that finishes there. You can have two that move through the drift in a turn, but because these have only got one movement point. I mean, now, I don't, well, I'm saying it doesn't matter. See, I feel this time that the leader should move with it. Whereas the last time I chose not to have the leader moving with the guys that went on the bridge, but I feel a little unsure about how all that's meant to work, and part of me feels, I don't know if it really matters or not. I mean, because at the moment, he is one area away from his objective. And if he moves in here, to me, he's still, well, here's the thing though. At the moment, he's actually 2 movement points away from his objective. If he moves in there, he's 1 movement point away from his objective. Does that not seal it for you, Grant? Really? The other one's a bit different because their objective is away up here and he could move through this drift. So it's a little more, you know, it's not as clear. So I kind of feel like the leader should go with the actual, yeah, because I don't think he counts for stacking purposes, does he? Well, not stacking. There's only, well, hang on. Does it not say, does he count as a unit then, maybe? No more than 2 units can enter across a drift area. And only 1 may remain at the end of the movement segment. I don't know if the leaders, I don't think they're classed as units though, are they? Brigade leader, hereafter referred to as leader. Counters are printed with the name, brigade type, and MP. Reverse shows replacement. And then a battalion of infantry. Any reference to British units apply. Oh, that was handy to find that rule on page 3 here. Just exactly what I want. Well, hopefully it's going to tell me exactly what I want. I've not read it all yet. Any reference to British units applies to battalions, regiments, and batteries. Battalions, regiments, and batteries are also referred to individually, as are Buller Long, HQ, and leaders. Okay, so a British unit is not a leader. Going by that? Yeah. Any reference to British units applies to battalions, regiments, and batteries. Okay, good. So that does mean that there is only 1 unit on this drift, and the leader is there as well. Now, I'm not sure I would want to have the leader there, but I just feel like he's maybe got to be there. Because I feel like he's moved closer to his objective. Right, and then we can't move any more onto the drift. I mean, these guys could make a move, but I don't know. I think we're wanting to have a multi-attack on that. Right, the problem here is... Oh yeah, you can still have a multi-attack on that as well. Use that guy to attack and use that guy. Yeah, that's fine. And you can't fire it any further. I can't fire into here because I need to be 1 area away, and I'm not in this area yet, so I'm not there. That's fine. Okay, I want probably some green cubes for this now. So that is the 5th Irish made all the moves that they're going to make, I think. Yes. Right, and I suppose we've got similar issues here then, because we've got a drift here, and we've got Littleton in the 4th white. These are... Oh, no. I can't, can I? Because I'm disrupted. So can I not even look at the drift then? Yeah, because it says... When a drift area with drift marker shown drift is about to be entered by a battalion or regiment. Yeah, I guess I can't do that because I can't move into a drift while I'm disrupted. A disrupted or suppressed unit cannot enter a drift area but may leave one. Unless it's conducting emergency withdrawal or has a return marker. Right, so we can't move on the drift, so that means Littleton still, although his objective is up here, he's kind of... When is it we get... You get rifle fire before the recovery, yeah, clearly, yeah. Right, well, I don't think these guys can do anything then. I mean, the suppressed part of the brigade are back here, but... Yeah, I guess they're just going to sit tight. I mean, these two can still... They can still have a shot into... Well, I don't know if something else might be firing into there. Well, actually, these... Remember, you can fire into there with these. These can fire into here, I suppose. So I think they're going to just sit tight. And remember, even though he's got an objective and he needs to move closer to it, no, it's only if he can. And he can't. So I guess that's that. Right, and then the artillery... Not going to move. I did say that if I had one of them across here, but well, this is your chance. Maybe. Do they have twos? They have twos. They do. So if we were to limber one of them up, hang on. No, does it take... Right, here we are. A battery may only unlimber if the leader has reached the area where his objective marker is placed. To unlimber a battery, use one movement point. To limber a battery takes a whole segment. So, yeah, what I would have to do here is flip that over. And then, when we moved into the next... shell fire, obviously this guy wouldn't be able to fire, and then the next movement phase, however, we would be able to move it there and unlimber it, because that would be one movement and then it only costs one movement to unlimber, and then next fire phase you would be able to fire into there. I don't know if that's... Is that what you want to do? I mean, at the moment, they've got fire into here, and here, and here. But the fact that they're 2 6s, it's tempting that, because this one across here with the 2, I'm not really fussed about splitting them up, because the 6, and then just get the +1 from that. But to get 2 6s firing at 2 different things, I think it's more beneficial, isn't it? I think I'm going to do this, actually. So I think I'm going to, in this movement phase, I'm going to limber this guy up. Or am I? Because remember, these two before, they attacked into here and here anyways. So they do have 2 targets. Yeah, maybe I should keep them together. I mean, I'm kind of hopeful we might get something on this guy. But what do you need? It's a 5 you need or something, isn't it? Or is it a 4? I get 4 plus 1's 5. And then I attack into a -2, so I've got a 3. Yeah, I need a 5. I need to roll a 5. So, but I mean, they're going to sit there all day long. Even if this guy's suppressed, they're still going to need the 5. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and I'll tell you what else is worrying, because we're in turn 5 now, and these guys are all in this Robinson's Drift area. The 3 of them sitting here with an arrow pointing into there, which kind of tells me they're going to come into this area. Which is maybe then not a reason to put an artillery unit in here, because if they go into that area, then that's a bit vulnerable. If they do go into that area, we might be able to fire on them. Yeah, that was another thing I thought about. If we artillery fire into an area where our units as well, does that mean everybody gets hit? Not sure I read that anywhere, to be honest. Then again, I'm not catching everything, so I think I'm just going to leave these sitting tight, to be honest. So we've dealt with them. Well, you know what? Well, I shouldn't really put a green cube, but as long as, if you're sure you don't want to move them. Well, no, I shouldn't put one, just in case I might change my mind and then think that I've moved them. Well, yeah, you might still. Okay, right, moving along. Right, sorry, I had another little pause there. Okay, so moving on. I tell you one other little thing I'm just noticing here. It would have been nice, I mean, yeah, you got to think it's like a lot more counters, I suppose. But these are suppressed. You can see it's covering up. I mean, is this British? Is this Boer? I mean, okay, I kind of know, but it would be nicer maybe if they were colour coordinated. Because you can see there's quite a lot now. I mean, okay, I know this is a Boer, these are British, these are Boer, this is British, but once they're starting to get closer and round about, you can see you're having to go, yeah, let me just remind myself, what's that again? And I mean, yeah, you could say that about any game, about any counters, go on top of counters. Once you start stacking counters, I mean, I could leave this like this because of space, but I mean, yeah, you could say I could leave it like that. There is space. You can see it might get a bit messy. I would like to actually do that. Can I do that? That would be nicer if I could do that. So I want to see the actual units, you know. As long as they're not sort of... That one's getting a bit iffy, isn't it? We're starting to get a bit messy here, aren't we? Or am I just going to get myself even more confused, maybe? No, I don't think so. As long as it's adjacent to the counter. This guy's disrupted. This guy's disrupted. Yeah. Because I'm looking around there, I'm seeing all these disrupted counters, and I'm starting to sort of... Yeah, that's clear. Now, these are both disrupted, so... Well, I dare say I could do that. There's two suppressed... Sorry, they're both suppressed even. There's two suppressed counters, there's 2 units. I've got them by their side. Yeah. Let's try this. Let's try it for a bit and see how it works. And if it throws me even more... I feel that's better. I can see more what's going on. I can see my units better and see their units better. Okay. Right, back to... Well, yeah, so we've got these guys on the bridge. Now, there's 2 of them. They're both suppressed. Now they're allowed to move off the bridge. They wouldn't be allowed to move. Well, that's not true actually, because we figured that bridge was a different area. It says a disrupted or suppressed unit cannot enter a drift area, but may leave one. But doesn't say anything about leaving a bridge area. Moving on to a bridge area. It also doesn't say when you exit a bridge that your morale level would go up. Well, here's the thing, Grant. You're coming across a bridge. It's a bridge. A drift is, well, actual fact, I'm not quite sure what a drift is. But I'm guessing it's not as sort of well structured as a bridge, shall we say. You know, it's something you're clambering across, maybe, rather than being able to walk across in a sort of... Yeah, okay. Right, so we're gonna move these two guys into this area from the bridge. It doesn't say that the morale would drop. However, if it was to be the case that their morale would drop, it wouldn't drop any further from suppressed. Because that's what can I make that happen in there like that, maybe? Yeah, something like that. Okay, so they've moved into there. Now... Yeah. Right, sorry, got dragged away there for a bit. I've been away for about an hour or so. So trying to find out where it was. We're in the movement. Yeah, I moved these guys across the bridge. That's coming back to me now. I've not quite marked the end of the movement because... Yeah, this is it. Because this, now the leader could move across the bridge, can't he? I think this time... Well, no, hold on, Grant. Hold on, because we can move into this drift as well now, can't we? Well, not with that guy because he's disrupted. We could with this guy. The problem, I don't feel like I want to, really. It's kind of nasty being on that drift, but... I mean, wouldn't I be safer just coming through the bridge? Well... Yeah, you kind of would, because if you're going by the way you feel like it should be, that if I'm on that bridge there, although the artillery we've decided that could fire at us, being on that bridge, this cannot fire at it because it's not in this area or this area, it's in between. And these guys can't fire at it. That's that's the road I went down. Whereas if I move on to there, they can fire at that, and they've got a strength of 6, and they get a +2 for me being on the drift. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's like... So... And the thing is, this disrupted unit can even move onto the bridge. In fact, everybody can move onto that bridge. Well, the downside to that is, well... Yeah, you're not getting a shot on this guy anyway. And the downside to that is once we're on there, we won't be able to fire at these or this, but there's no point firing at that anyway. So the only target you're going to have on there is that. I mean, okay, these could fire on that, but like we've said, it's not... Well, actually, And they could still fire across there. So guys, in fact, did they not lose something from firing from the bridge as well? Maybe not. No. No, it's just the modifiers if you're on the bridge and getting fired at. Benefits the attacker. It just feels far more. But I mean, yeah, because I think the leader can move right into this area. So if the leader was in there, and that's as far as he could go, he's then 1, 2, 3 away from his objective. If he's in here, this area which he can go, he's 1, 2, 3 away from his objectives as well. Yeah, okay, that's happening. Right, so the leader's going to move into this area as well. And he's still standing firm. Make a little bit better space here. And then this guy who's disrupted, I'm not finding in the rules that say you can't move onto a bridge disrupted, so we're going to have to just go with that. He's got a stat loss as well. Mind they're in Colenso. Is there some reason to keep units there, or the fact that that's the city or the town or whatever? Yeah, I know we got a good modifier to be fired upon in that area, but yeah, I suppose the worry is here now, once we move into the events, I think some of these units are going to start moving, aren't they? Oh, what the heck. Right, okay, so he's going to move in there. Now he's disrupted as well. Right, I'm going to have to stack them because they're going to be sitting on top of the bridge. And he's going to move into the bridge as well. Well, Buar, we'll come back to him. He might be better moving into the actual area. But we'll come back to Buar and the HQ. So I think I'm going with that. I think I'm leaving this artillery. This is ready to be. Well, no. We could move it, but no, this is the time now to unlimber it. I mean, it can fire into Fort Wiley or up into the Heidelberg or into there as well, actually. But this is going to be an assault situation coming up now. Yeah, do you really want Buller in there? No, that's the leader. I don't know what happens. I'm not quite fully sure what happens regarding the assault and close combat, etc. Right, so I've dealt with that, so that's fixed. I've not moved these, but I don't think I'm going to. I think the artillery is still okay. I think you want them just standing back anyway. Right, now, well, the 6 Fusiliers are going to move into their objective here. Right, that's not a choice there. So, that's a planned objective and objective. So they can now... And they are, well, hang on. Are they all moving in? He's moving in. I think they maybe are for where they are. There's no reason to not here, I don't think. Well, they're about to move anyway. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to be having some of them separate. And then the mounted are 1-2 away from their objective, so this is where it's all going to happen. Well, it's not going to happen tonight because I'm going to have to... So they're going to reach their objective as well, so I might as well just take that away just now. And the problem is they're not going to be able to dismount, are they? Can I just move them one? Yeah. You move them one, they're all sitting there waiting to be shot at. Well, I've already said, have I not said that it's better to be mounted in close combat? They get a good modifier. I want to say there's a downside to it as well, though. Yeah, see the bore fire against a mounted regiment, they get a +2. But when we move into close combat, we get a +2 for being mounted. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? What was it I was wanting to look for there? No, it's fine. We've got to move towards our objective. So here we go. So he goes, well, one of these goes 1-2 into the objective. He joins them. Now this is true. We don't need to send them all in, Grant. 1-2. Of course, we could send some of them into there and then dismount them. Is that a good idea? Again, I think you need to be having played the game through to know what's best here. So they started the turn with 2 movement points. So I'm going to move... Yeah. The other thing is, they've got 1 strength when they go to attack, haven't they? They've not got the 4 strength that these guys have got. So maybe even you only want 2 of them in there then. Just 1 and 1 to get the multiple attack. And yeah, going by what we've seen, these are going to attack the closest area, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, start with closest area, so... And they're adjacent, well, they're in the same area. Yeah, I don't know without... Let's see, I haven't tried these. Because part of me is thinking I should just move the other 4 in here for 1 movement and then dismount them for the second movement. So that's right, I think. I think it cost me 1 to dismount them. Or is it the other way about? Here we go. Regiment uses the movement point as shown when it starts the British movement segment. Movement point available does not change if it mounts or dismounts during its movement. It may only dismount if its leader has reached the area where its objective marker was placed. To mount or dismount a regiment uses 1 movement. Oh, right, okay, so they're different. To mount or dismount, it costs 1. So we can move in there and dismount because we've got the movement to do that. I think, I'm allowed to just, yeah, there's nothing to say I can't just move them in. I think I'll keep 2 of them mounted and dismount 2 of them. Yeah, because I don't really know. I think I'll do that. These obviously couldn't dismount, they had to move the 2 movement. Or at least one of them had to do that, and because the leaders go with them. Yeah. Right. I think that's me done with that. Just swinging back there, I forgot to mark that because we have moved them. And I think that just leaves the 3 artillery brigades. That one, and this one with us. Well, here's the thing. Another thing you don't know about. I mean, come the artillery fire, if both these sets of units are near enough, I go and fire on that. I need to know that, don't I? Because if that is the case, unless they get slaughtered, because I think they can exist in the same area. I definitely remember reading that. I don't feel like I've read anything regarding like shell fire. British shell fire. Right, that's not helping me. Is it on the Boer Wusses? Right, where does it tell you? It's under the Wusses bit, I think. Boer firing. Boer firing. British Wusses. If artillery fire causes a disrupted or suppressed result, place an appropriate marker on all British units in the target area. Right, hang on. If I'm firing though, where's Boer Wusses? There we are. If a battery's fire causes a disrupted or suppressed result, place an appropriate marker on all Boer units in the target area. So, if we fire, it's just saying that we would affect the Boer units. I know it says that come the close combat, they move back. They're still in the same area though. Right, here we go. Hang on, close combat page. Let's have a look at this. Right, I suppose we need to start with British assault segment. Right, I had a bit of a moment there with a glitch in the recording where I thought I was recording and I was paused, and yeah, I occasionally do that. I don't do it as often as I used to because of the app before I use. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. Anyway, I did that there, so I'll try and seamlessly join these parts together. Although there is a bit with me sort of thinking I'm recording, I'm on pause, so you might hear me coughing and spluttering because I've still got a bit of the cough. But it was at the bit where I was just going through this, so I'll go through this again because I just caught it in time, if you like. So this is a British assault segment 6.2. British units in the same area as Boer units must assault them. Only units in the area fire, not routed batteries or artillery. The assault uses the fire procedure charts as follows. Right, just carefully making sure that I'm recording this time. The British approach the Boer defensive line. Both fire one shot with commandos firing first. All normal modifications for terrain and any emplacement apply. So the first shot, it's basically like we do Boer rifle fire and then British rifle fire in the winner for that first part of this assault segment. And then close combat comes in. So if units from both sides still remain in the area, units now fight in close combat with point blank rifle fire, bayonets and sabres. Both fire one shot again with commandos firing first. Since in close combat, modifications for terrain and any emplacement do not apply. Yeah, so you're up close, you're not benefiting both. Like, this is a hill, we're talking about the Huangguani. That is a hill, isn't it? Yeah, it's a hill area, so we both don't benefit from the hill, and they don't benefit from the emplacement because we're right up. It says there, the Boers are not considered to be in an emplacement, if in one, because their position has been overrun by British troops. Use a group, not an emplacement column, if a test is required on the formation morale table. Okay. And then carries on here. If units from both sides still remain in the area, they will now share the area. The British fall back from close combat and the Boers recover any emplacement present. So that makes me think the Boers are going back into their emplacement, British are backing off, they're still in the same area, but I think going by what I've read about shell fire, it seems to me that we can still then fire with artillery into that area and only hit Boer units, because it does say under British shell fire that all Boer units in the area are hit, or suffer them suppressed or disrupted. And it says the same, well, vice versa for British units. So I'm going to go with that, because there's nothing, I think it would tell you if both sets of units, if the British and the Boers were affected by friendly fire, friendly artillery fire. So there's nothing to say that, so we're going to go with that. Finishes there with, if only Buller, long leaders or batteries remain, they will be eliminated. If a leader is eliminated, adjust the counter to show his replacement and place a new leader in the nearest area with a unit of his brigade present. A replacement leader cannot be eliminated. He can, of course, but then he would just be replaced by another replacement leader. Okay, right. So does that help you at all in deciding about this? Not really. Not really, but it helps me with this, because I was starting to think, well, I now can't fire into that area because we've got friendly units in there, but I'm going to go with what I think and say we can still fire into there and we're not going to affect our units. So seems a little odd. You would think there might be some rule in there to say that artillery, might hit your own units, because I wouldn't have thought it was as accurate back in them days, but who knows, I could have that wrong. Okay. Okay. Right, I think I'm going to have to get this wrapped up for the night. I think I had 40 minutes there on the before I had that glitch, so I know we've only got through the movement. I want to say we just came up and done the movement here, though, haven't we? Yeah, maybe been talking a bit much. I say I did have had a few drinks tonight. So we've been through the movement. We've removed objective markers if they've reached them. Yeah. Now, we've got move HQ, Buller and Long to maybe consider. If a unit exits a drift area, reduce morale level by 1. No, we moved off a bridge area. But it doesn't say that. It doesn't say anything about moving off the bridge. It doesn't say about moving onto the bridge, and so my guess is there's no. It gives you the restriction of 2 units only being on the bridge or 3 units moving through the bridge. That's all. It doesn't have that thing about coming off, and not that I read anyway. So are we going to move Buller, Long, or the HQ? Because I think we're happy with all the rest of the movement. Well, I say happy, but yeah. So let's just take these cubes off. Right, that's me settled on my movement then. Apart from Buller, Long, and the HQ. Well, the HQ is not allowed to be in, what is it? Operative mode if it's in fire range. If it's range of any units. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Well, if it moves into here or here or here, it's going to be in range of that. So it can still be in that state, right enough. But the problem is it's going to be in range of the artillery. 1, 2, 3. So until you move the artillery, it's going to be... Right, sorry. So I don't think we can really move the HQ much without it getting into that area. The problem is we're probably going to have to start giving some orders out again, I think. Well, I still feel like there's plenty to do before we order things on. I mean, we're getting these guys up to here. I mean, once they're in there, do I need to give them an order to move into that red? Or once they reach there, can they just move in? Well, yeah, they can. Their leader wouldn't be able to, because he wouldn't have an objective, but... Oh, we'll see what happens when we get there. Buller, though, do we want him to maybe move in here with these guys? I kind of think we do, but just to help them out, because these two are suppressed. Yeah, I'm going to move him in here as well. Now, he's meant to be stacked. Hang on, he's meant to end stacked with a unit. So let's stack him with that guy then, the 2nd Devonshire. And I think that's just for the purposes of the routed bit. So if the 2nd Devonshire happened to be routed, then he's got to then move with them. And then Long, I think I'm just going to leave him where he is. Actually, I don't really fear for the guns getting fired at anymore now that it's all kicking off in there, I think. So maybe I maybe might move Long up here, because he might want to eventually give these guys an order. Well, you could say that about these as well. And the thing is, these have got to move through this bridge area. That's the only way the artillery can come across the river is through the bridge. They can't cross the drifts. So... yeah, maybe I will just leave that there then. Okay, right, I think I'm going to settle with that, and we're just going to leave the HQ where it is. Because the HQ would have to be in the same area as him, and then it would also have to be flipped to its other side, which it's not allowed to do because it'd be in range, firing range of many things, to be honest. So it means Buller's only going to get one command to give out where he is. Right, okay. I'm going to settle with that. So that's the movement phase, and I think that's all that video done. I think it was. I went away, I had to take a break, didn't I? But, well, now we're on to the British assault segment. So, now we're going to see what happens. Oh, and you also, I mean, we get this assault segment, then you also have the British fire to come, but then you also have the Boer fire to come. So, right, does that mean that these guys fire in the assault segment and they can still fire in the rifle fire phase? Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything that says they can't do that, so... Alright, okay. Right, well, we'll see. Right, I better leave it for the night. That's been enough I've done for the day. So, tomorrow, yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'll wait tomorrow night, because I'm working late, or... So, we'll see. I'll be back when I'm back. Okay, cheers.